Lan, it's morning. Uh, uh. Come on, it's Saturday. Let me sleep. Ah, you're right. Told ya. But remember you have weekend class this week? Oh man. Well, welcome back. Last time we explored the government complex, we finally got our power up from that, and we also got a few new chips. So today I'm sure we're just going to have a nice, relaxing, trouble-free day. Oh, Lan, morning. Morning, Mom. What's wrong? Not feeling well? No, it's just the water's off, so no breakfast. What? But I'm hungry and thirsty. Well, there's not much your mom can do with no water. Yeah, but... Hey, you better get going or you'll be late. Alright, already. So, no water unfortunately. I'm sure there's nothing important about that. Let's go to school. Hey, you're late. Sorry. Lan, did you have water this morning at home? What, you too? Yeah, I couldn't even wash my face this morning. Yuck. You can wash it when we get to school. I hope so. Hey, the pond! What if there's no water at school? Oh no, I hope not. Well, maybe it's just this neighborhood or something. I'm worried. I'm going to go check. So thirsty. So let's go in. Nothing to see here really. There's nothing new to see at the school right now, so let's just quickly make our way to our classroom. They say the chip shop's gonna open today. And the owner is Mr. You-Know-Who. Where? Oh, near the park, I think. I'm thirsty. Should we challenge decks? So we actually can now rematch decks as many times as necessary, which is nice because you can farm Gutsman chips. So we've faced him before, but I actually do want to fight him here because Gutsman does have one new attack that I do want to show you. However, in order to actually see the attack, I have to stand in the front row, because he will not do it if you're on the back. That's it. So, that attack is called Guts Punch. And in the when you're rematching him for the final time, he can actually drop that as a chip. Alright, so... okay, that should do it. There we go. So yeah, we took some damage and we lost some time, so I'm not expecting anything great. Yeah, we only got some Sunny. Enjoy while you can. You're going down. Next time, Lan. So, in this final rematch with Dex, we can get a couple new chips. We can get the version 2 and 3 of Gutsman. I'll go into more detail about them. Actually, let's do it right now. We don't really have that many chips this episode. So Gutsman 2, identical to Gutsman 1, but it deals 70 damage. Gutsman 3, it deals 100 damage. As to the other chip that you can get from him, you can get Guts Punch, and you can get it in 2 codes. Make sure that you get it in code B. That is important for a program advance, which the one which we don't have all the materials yet, but we will soon enough. Now, Guts Punch, it's a single straight attack similar to Gutsman punching you. The only thing is that it will also pushes objects. You can use it alongside a rock cube, and if you push the rock cube onto an enemy, it deals a ton of damage. I'll show you real quick on screen. So it is a combo that you can do. Now, we don't actually have to talk to everybody, all we have to do is talk to Yai here. Don't tell anyone I told you, but a kid from B class is missing, and I smell a rat. It's a secret, okay? I like to begin homeroom. Teacher, we don't got no water at my house. Now be quiet. We're going to talk about that in homeroom. Class, you all know that the town water has stopped. What? Miss Mary, do we know why? We're not sure, so we don't know when it will be fixed. Really? I'm afraid we'll have to cancel class for today. Alright. Wait, don't walk around too much. You get thirsty. Okay. So, this is no longer like an isolated incident. Apparently the entire town is missing water. And it's going to get even more ridiculous in a moment. I'm okay now, but if we don't get water soon, I wonder what the source of the problem could be. Keep this to yourself, but everything with water in it's been stolen. There's nothing to drink anywhere. We're in trouble. So, think about that for a moment. In the span of one night, the World 3 somehow managed to cut off the water supply, and they also managed to steal water from vending machines, supermarkets. They must have snuck in like offices as well. They stolen water coolers, I imagine. All within one night. I'm almost amazed by the ridiculousness of it and how did they manage to pull that off? Like, what would be the logistics for that? And not only that, but society, specifically in AC/DC town, is apparently, in Den City as a whole, is ready to crumble within one day. It's not like the town is completely isolated from the world. I mean, there must be a supply chain, right? Or did the World 3 somehow close off the town from everywhere else? Hey, Lan! Everyone left! They went home so they won't get thirsty. The Lost Boy's dad is busy at work. He can't even take off a day like this. So yeah, if you recall, Yai told us that apparently a kid is missing, and if we talk to some of the people here, some of them give you hints, but nothing too big. Where did he go? He won't answer his PET or mail. So yeah. Now we talked to Mega Man. Wonder where there's no water. Let's check it out. Let's do just that. So let's completely ignore that car that wasn't there before, and before we go to the waterworks, let's actually inspect the new shop. Because we do have a few things to actually talk about. For one, want to know how to use the trader? I already explained it, but sure. When you put chips in the chip trader, you get one new one. Sort of like a lottery. The red one takes 3 chips to get 1 back. The blue one needs 10 chips, but gives more rares. You can use either one, but don't lose all your chips. And putting in good chips doesn't mean you get a good one. The only thing that matters is how many chips, 3 or 10. So that is indeed how it works. Now, in later Mega Man Battle Network games, the game will automatically save every time that you use the chip trader. Meaning that if you want to like use a couple of weak chips and then reset, the game will not allow you, and you will have lost those chips forever. That does not happen in Battle Network 1, meaning that you can always reset if you're not getting any new chips. So I'll show you how it works once for each machine. If we happen to get a new chip, I'll go over it in more detail. But we got a rather rare one for only 3 cannons, so I would say that was a decent pull. So let's go ahead and use the cannons. We're never going to use them otherwise. Okay, that was an amazing pull. But I'm going to leave it at that. And look at that, there we have the owner. You probably saw this coming along a while ago. And a nice little reference to Bile. So, before we talk to Hixby. That machine got Numberman data. You wanna net battle it? We can actually do a rematch against him. Let's do it real quick. Now, Numberman doesn't really have any new attacks, so I'll try to get through this as quickly as possible. And look at that, we got an S rank. So, similar to the first rematch against Fireman, in this fight, regardless of your performance, you will get number man 1. Defeat is a result of lack of skill, not lack of chips. I can agree with that. So, now, unlike Dex and Gutsman, if we try to rematch it, first you gotta be a better battler than you are now. We cannot, so we have to wait until later. Now, let's go into more detail about Numberman. It basically uses his dice attack, and the damage is multiplied by 10 according to the number on the dice, meaning that the most that you can get is 60. Though it does attack the entire screen, so in that regard it's not as bad, but it can deal a pitiful amount of damage if you're not lucky. Now, his exhibit does actually have a few interesting chips. For one, we can finally buy Cannon E, which I will. You can also buy Spreader K. I recommend that you do because this one is important for 2 program advances, one of which you probably already figured out, but there's another one that's a bit more secret. He also has 2 new ones, Barrier, which I'll explain all of them in a moment, and Elexord. I'm going to buy all 3, because they can be rather useful later on. I might not equip them in my folder right now, but I will later. So let's quickly go over the new chips. First of all, Cannon E. Of course, we now have cannons A, B, C, D, E, meaning that we have access to Omega Cannon 1. And I do have to say, it is a bit underwhelming having to go through Omega Cannon 1 after we unlocked Omega Cannon 2 in the previous episode. But it is still not a bad chip. It will allow you to use the Cannon chip for 10 seconds, and you are completely immune to any and all damage. Up next we have Barrier. It creates a barrier around Mega Man that will absorb 1 attack and then disappear. And then we have Elexord. It is basically a white sword, but it deals electric damage and it deals 120 damage, so very, very useful. Alright, let's actually make our way to the Waterworks. Lan, you got mail! It turns out that the missing kid from B class was kidnapped. Lan, you have to help us look for him, okay? You better help, or I won't call your name in homeroom. Good luck! P.S. Buy some water if you find any, please. So it seems that the missing kid may not be completely unrelated to whatever's going on. But for now, let's actually talk to someone at the Waterworks. Maybe they can tell us what's going on. Therefore, a check of the Waterworks and net is needed. You're an official net battler, right? I understand. If you could show me your ID card. Here. I see. Insert your ID card to use the elevator. The elevator will take you around the works automatically. Thank you. What's a kid like you doing here? You're in the way. What's his problem? You are a kid, you know. But wait, did you hear that? He's an official net battler. They fight net crime. I heard of them before. They can net battle anywhere they want. Isn't that cool? I wonder what kind of net navis they use. Who cares? Let's go check out the Waterworks. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Are you an official net battler? We are not. If it is about the water shortage, go over there. So she means the counter here. All the NPCs are just complaining. But we actually do need to inspect another level of the Waterworks. So let's say that we are an official net battler. Oh, may I see your ID card? If you don't have your ID, I cannot let you in. So, if we talk to Mega Man, he says, we could find out what the problem is if we could just get into the pump room. Doesn't really give you that much of a hint. We need an official ID. Now, the way that we get it is not the most... doesn't make the most sense. Because we're going to get it by stealing our dad's ID. Now keep in mind, our dad is a very important scientist, so it makes sense that he would have like high security clearance, but he works in Scilab, not in the Waterworks. But it works, so let's not complain about it. So we don't even need to talk to her, we can just use it here. This water cooler is also broken. There is no water inside. Huh. Someone has bought all of the drinks. Yep. All the vending machines are completely sold out. Alright, so before we talk to anybody else here, you may want to inspect the lockers here because we got an HP memory. And look at this guy, he has a unique design, so he must be important. What are you doing here? This area is for staff only. ACDC Town's water supply has stopped. Yeah, I know. Looks like he knows. There seems to be a bug in the pump program. We're doing our best to remove the bug. It'll be fixed soon. Oh, okay. It would have been bad if it were a World 3 scheme, but, well... Thanks for coming down to tell us. Sure, no problem. As long as you're here, why don't you take a tour? So, let's actually inspect this gigantic PC, because it is a jack-in spot. So, this area has a few interesting things. For one, here we have a new chip, Recovery 200. So, pretty self-explanatory, it will restore 200 HP, very good amount. There's another mystery data, and we have 2 new enemies here. So we got some Sunny, nice. So I'm really hoping that we'll run into the 2 new enemies, because they're the only ones here, so we have to run into them. Well, that's one of them. So this enemy, as you can see, they have a lock-on reticle, and if it targets you, they will shoot spears out of their mouth. And only one of them has to lock onto you for all of them to attack. So that formation just now, where each of them were in a different row, is rather dangerous. Alright, so... I'm hoping that one will go perfect. We didn't get the chip, I wasn't really expecting to get it, but I want to run into the other new enemy here. Come on, really? Okay, let's see if I can at least get a couple of them lined up. Not quite. So if we don't run into the other new enemy, I'll just go into how it works, because it's basically just a weaker version of this enemy. So I will give it one more random encounter. If not, we'll move on. There we go, perfect. And it's completely alone, great. So we can just take him out right away with Fireman. So yeah, it works identical to the other enemy, only of course it doesn't have as much HP and it deals less damage. And look at that, we actually got the chip, nice. So let's go over the 2 new chips that we can get from these enemies. The first one, the weaker version, is Tri-Arrow. It allows you to shoot 3 arrows that deal 40 damage each. It's not bad, it is a bit slow. The upgraded version is called Tri-Spear. It will also shoot 3 spears and each one deals 50 damage. Now, what's rather interesting about these enemies is that they drop all 5 codes, so you can get all of them just by fighting them randomly in this area. Meaning that we can unlock 4 new program advances, and they are in order: Zeta Arrow, so you can shoot the Tri-Arrow chip as many times as you can for 5 seconds, and you take no damage. Omega Arrow, the same but for 10 seconds. Zeta Spear, and of course Omega Spear. So yeah, you can get 4 new program advances in this area alone. Pretty nice. And the program advances are pretty good, specifically Spear. And there's an even better version of that chip that we'll get later on. But for now, we're done here. So, it would seem that there's nothing else to do, so let's actually head home. Lan, doesn't something seem wrong? What? I mean, why would a net butler come to check out a bug? And it's not just water that is missing too. This isn't going to be easy to fix. I'm afraid so. Let's hide out and check the net once everyone leaves. Right, good idea. Now, to find a place to hide. So, even though this is a government complex and there must be security cameras absolutely everywhere, we can actually just hide out in our dad's office. Well, nobody will come here, will they? And that is right. Okay, let's hide out here for a while then. Okay. Okay, it's 12. Today's Saturday, so everyone should be gone by now. Let's go. I do like the ominous music. It's a nice break from the usual background music that you get here. It's locked. Hey, do you hear someone typing? They're using a PC. We can't check out the network like this. Hurry up and find something we can jack into. So, this is also rather odd. You saw the gigantic computer. You figured that would be the place to jack in and maybe explore the net in the waterworks. But no, that's not it. You just do it from a water cooler. Hey! What do you think you're doing here? Uh-oh. I got lost. I see. Well, you're not supposed to be in here. So... go home, got it? Yes. Good. Now go home like a good little boy. So I guess they didn't even bother to escort us out of the building. Just, I'll trust you to leave. Well, we going home? You kidding? Let's do it. Jack in. Funny, it's frozen here and there. And there's no navis or programs anywhere. That guy said he'd be here debugging, but I smell a rat. Let's go see what's going on with the water supply program. Roger. So, this new area, as you can probably guess, the gimmick is sliding puzzles. Oh joy. Luckily though, most of the enemies in the areas that we're about to explore are old enemies, so I'm just going to be skipping those fights for the most part. So that hopefully we can get through this area as quickly as possible. I'll just take out the water tower here and then I'll just skip all the other fights. Who are you? That's no waterworks, Navi. It must be one of the World 3s. What are you doing? You dare call me one of those World 3 lackeys? What is it, Proto-Man? Lord Chow, sir. Wow, the spelling mistakes. You, from before! Ah, you again. You're not an official battler, are you lost? Do I look lost? Fine, but... I am an official net battler, Eugene Shaw. I'm so glad that he said his first name. So, this guy is usually referred to by the last name, which is either pronounced Shout or Showed, or I never get the pronunciation right. To make it easier, I'm just going to call him Eugene every single time. And that should not be Protoman's portrait. That's clearly being said by Eugene. And this is my net Navi, Protoman. Get in our way, and we'll have to delete you, kid. You can't just delete people who get in your way. I can, and easily at that. But I got work to do. Protoman. Sir. I'll deal with you later. Watch out for World 3 agents, kid. What an attitude. Lan, getting mad will just make you thirstier. You're right. Mega Man, let's go. Okay. If you run water over ice, it will melt. You can walk over the melted ice, but not over water. If you jack out, the water will return, but the ice will not return. So that is a bit of a hint as to how to get past this next area. Before we do though, we have an interesting looking character here. I'm just a friendly neighborhood Navi. It's a dead end from here, sorry. So even though he says that, we can continue on, but our main objective is not that way. Alright, so let's actually activate the water. And even though the water flow doesn't seem to be that strong, and it would seem like we would just allow it to carry us the proper way, we do also have to turn it off real quick. Alright. So the previous handle that we stopped, that one was necessary, this one is completely optional, but it does give us access to Ice Punch B. So I want to go over this one real quick. Ice Punch, it is similar to Guts Punch, it deals 20 more damage, and it is also a water type chip. And with that we have obtained the necessary components for another of the Special Series Program Advance. In this case we unlocked Big Straight. It requires Guts Punch B, Ice Punch B, and Dash B. It pretty much creates like a line of punches that goes through the enemy, and it deals 250 damage. Not bad, rather useful. We got another copy of M Cannon, pretty nice. I believe I didn't go the right way. Nope. Okay, I think that was it. Sorry about that, I don't really have this area as memorized as I thought I did. Right, so we actually finally have a new enemy. Nothing particularly special about this enemy. As you can see, he will shoot ice blocks. That's it. And we got an S rank, even though we move around quite a lot, and we're over 5 seconds. So you may have guessed from the music that this was supposed to be a boss fight. I think that was the virus causing the waterworks bug. Pretty easy, huh? I agree. I'll send you a fire shot. Melt the ice on the pump water supply program. Roger. Okay, I'm done here. Okay, come back to town and we'll see how the water is. So, I mean, the trouble music is still blaring in the background, but I'm sure that we fixed everything, right? Lan, we have to go check the water. Let's check out the school pond. That looks healthy. Well, there's water, but it looks really nasty. Water. Need water. Water. Must drink. It's been less than 24 hours, dude. I think you can hold. You can withstand this. Come on. Huh? That water's bad. Go. Are you okay? Lan! You've done it now. Eugene! People are drinking the polluted water everywhere. The real problem wasn't the water filtering program. This is all your fault. Just stay out of my way, okay? Lan, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. It's not your fault, Mega Man. Let's go back. What? We can't give up now. Let's fix this problem for good. Well, that did not go well. Well, next time we'll give it another shot. Thank you for watching.